leg that is remaining and transfer that and interpret that into some sort of natural movement for the ankle. It was a really remarkable thing. Again, as I was sort of joking around, but seriously, I been interested in bionics since I was a kid, and the idea that you could somehow take the neural circuitry of your body and your spinal cord and take those signals and turn them into real movement. You're trying to predict what the body will do and how the body will behave and create something that does the same thing. So that's what I saw. And we walked down treadmill together. He and I actually went for a run together and then jogged up a flight of stairs together. And he's a bilateral amputee. It was amazing. He was racing me up these stairs, and it's just it was just extraordinary to see where this is. I should point out that this isn't available for everybody yet. It's still a lot of this is in the idea and mind of that lab, but he's starting to make it more reality.
And Adrian, that's something you have now kind of taken on and been working on, because as you said, these really advanced prostheses are not available to everyone. You're hoping that they will become more available through Medicare, covered by insurance.
Absolutely. It's so important. I know that I've seen things that are available, medical devices and things that are really helpful to amputees, and I think, even aside from Hugh Herr's work, and I think, oh, this needs to be available to everybody. Why? And I just get so, worked up about it. It needs to be available to everyone. So we are pushing Medicare to make sure that this is something that's available. One thing that I'm sure Sanjay had seen is the great thing about the Biome and the dance leg is that it ignites your muscles that you use in your amputated legs. So therefore, that metabolism and working those muscles, and Sanjay's going to be able to talk to you a little bit more detail than I will about all of this, but it ignites those muscles, and to feel you use your leg muscles again is something that is priceless, truly. And I hope Medicare can see that in the long term that it will cut down on arthritis and other medical bills that will come along the way.
Do you find yourself being treated differently? Does that bother you? When obviously people are meeting you for the first time and don't recognize you and wouldn't even know that you have a prosthetic left leg, but when they find out, does it change the way people look at you, and how do you react to it?
Yes, it does. It absolutely does. I'd say at least 4 to 5 times a day, no exaggeration, someone says, "What's wrong with your foot?" when they see that I'm limping, and I say a number of things depending if I've had a bad day or not. But I have quite the list of comebacks, actually. One of being a terrorist blew it off, but pointing it out.
Are you serious? Wow, that's quite a comeback.
Yeah. Well, I would never make a comment about somebody else's body if I didn't know who they were. Obviously, if somebody's approaching me and is concerned, I obviously wouldn't say that. But if somebody's just looking at me across the street and saying, "What's wrong?" and I'm like, "This happened to me, so maybe we should talk about my body. I don't talk about yours." So I guess that answers the question, does it bother me? Yes, as I get all worked up talking about it. But it does bother me, I don't want to be treated differently. I don't like to hear, after working so long in physical therapy and continuing my workouts, I don't like to hear that I'm limping. And I think that also comes with not igniting those muscles on a regular basis with every step.
Good question, actually, from Morgan, who says, Adrian, thanks for sharing your story. I go to school in Boston. I'm from Sandy Hook, Connecticut. My sister survived the shooting. The people in Boston never cease to amaze me. How have you coped with this tragedy? Do you have any tips? Do you have any tips for, because everybody faces trials in their own life, everybody faces obstacles, but it's very rare for somebody's life to change completely in the blink of an eye, from one second to the next. Do you have tips for people out there?
Yeah, it's so tough. I didn't have any miracle formula at all. I didn't have somebody come to me and say, this is what you need to do. I think looking back now, in hindsight, I think what really helped me was surrounding myself with really good people. Whether that's family and friends or friends, doctors, just being able to ask a ton of questions and having doctors that don't have packed schedules to have the time to be able to sit with them and say, what about this? Well, what about this? And so I think just surrounding yourself with people that will look after you when you can't look after yourself is critical, absolutely critical.
I know we've got to sort of wrap it up soon. Is there something you want people to take away from this, Adrian? Is there something you want people to people when they watch the documentary tonight, and just to know about you and other survivors?
I think the most important thing is that, it's a journey. It's far from over. This marks the year. It's insane to say out loud, but, I think it's really important for people to know that when you go through something, it's okay to not be okay, and it's going to take some time. So when people say, oh, that was a week ago or a year ago, just get over it. Sometimes we say that to people when we feel like they're lingering too much, and we need to give people time to heal. And I think that's what I'd love for people to take away is to, regardless of the situations going on in their family and friends, you need to give people that time and be empathetic to it.
And Sandra, you must see that as a doctor as well. There is no timetable for grief. There is no timetable for that one size fits all.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's very difficult to paint everybody with one brush when it comes to things like that. One thing that when you asked about Boston Strong, one of the things as well from the scientific perspective, is that sometimes in the face of these sorts of tragedies, you have some major scientific developments. I don't know how it feels to hear that, hear that sort of thing, but I think that if there is something good or strong or powerful that comes out of this, it's sometimes that, and that's certainly what I took away a lot from watching the documentary.
Absolutely agree.
Well, Adrian, I'm a huge fan of yours, and thank you. Well, thank you for cooperating with us, and it's been incredible. And I hope everyone watches Adrian's story tonight, Survivor Diaries. There's 10 p.m. tonight on CNN Eastern Time. And thanks very much. Thanks, Sanjay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sanjay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Death Row Stories Google Hangout. We are absolutely thrilled to be hosting this project. I'm Ashley Banfield from CNN. I host a program called Legal View, so this is a passion of mine, to say the very least. And if you have any feelings whatsoever about the death penalty or about American jurisprudence in general, I think this is going to become a great passion of yours, at least if it isn't already. The program that we're discussing becomes a regular series